Welcome to this week's Foundation Friday. I am joined today by Julia Gavrilov, partner at Moore at Hawk and Hamroff. Thanks for joining me, Julia.
Thanks for having me, Jesse.
Now, I'm glad to have you on here. When I saw on LinkedIn the work you were doing with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, gave me an excuse to touch base with you, but it also one of those things where I wanted to see if we could share it on one of these Foundation Fridays. So appreciate you giving me some time today.
I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to talk about it because I think it's actually a very important cause. So I'm a member of the executive committee for Leukemia Lymphoma Society's Big Climb campaign. And before I get into everything that LLS does, the Big Climb campaign is a stair climb to the top of iconic buildings and stadiums, all while raising critical funding toward LLS's mission. So Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, it's the world's largest voluntary nonprofit health organization that's dedicated to funding blood cancer research and providing education and patient services. Their mission is to cure leukemia, lymphoma, Hodgkin's disease, and myeloma, all various types of blood cancers, and to improve the quality of life for patients and their families. They've been doing this since 1949. They've invested nearly 1.6 billion in research. They've pioneered many of today's approaches to curing. They work tirelessly to find cures and ensure that all these patients have access to life-saving treatments. And there's a lot of fear and uncertainty when someone receives a cancer diagnosis, so they provide hope and compassion and education and support and really have an impact on the cancer community. How I got involved, the cause is very personal to me. My dad was diagnosed with a very rare and aggressive form of lymphoma back in 2011. Sadly, he only had a year and a half of a fight and passed away the following year at age 58. But I wanted to, it's now the 10-year mark. I just passed the 10-year mark since his passing. And I want to not only to honor him, but also I relate to a lot of the people who have been through this roller coaster when a loved one is diagnosed, and understanding both the patient and the families of patients. I want to do everything that I can to help them. And so where funding goes, 100% of the funds are donated directly to LLS and their mission to support three pillars that they have. One is research, and they're the largest nonprofit funder of blood cancer research. Education and support, so they're the leading source of free education and support for blood cancer patients and their families, and they provide one-on-one support. They assist and enroll in clinical trials. And there's also policy and advocacy. They have nationwide grassroots and a network in more than 50,000 active online volunteers. And so they drive policy changes and they accelerate the development of new cancer treatments. So there's a lot that people can do to help. I'm almost certain that almost everybody in the equipment finance industry either has been affected one way or another by cancer, if not by specifically blood cancer, whether it's a friend or a colleague or a family member or themselves being diagnosed at some point. But even if it doesn't run personally to you, there are many ways that people can make a difference. They can donate by fundraising, volunteering, becoming an advocate, attending certain LLS events. So as you mentioned before, I'm on the executive committee for the Big Climb campaign, where we're climbing and stadiums and iconic buildings around the country, and different cities host their own Big Climb version. So the one that's taking place in New York on April 29th is we're climbing the USTA National Tennis Center, home to the US Open, and the place where I pretty much live. I think it's I think it's like 2,000 or 4,000. I can't even remember. There'll be an adorable 7-year-old that's going to be doing it alongside me. But I hope that people will join and climb with me. And if they can't climb with me on April 29th, I hope that they're able to at least support the cause.
Okay. Is there like, I'll put the website for LLS after this interview here, so people can go to the website, but is there a specific portion of that that talks about the Big Climb campaign as well?
Yeah, there is. And I can send you the information for that. If if you go to lls.org, you can type in Big Climb, and there's an how to help section as well that could also lead you to that. I'm separately doing a team mark in honor of my dad. So people are welcome to join my team or support my team. So
can you make specific donations to Team Mark?
yes, you can.
Okay.
You could do it to. You could do it to.
We'll to figure out how that works, and then I'll make sure I add that towards the end of this here.
You got it. Yeah, and everything goes to funding LLS's mission and pillars.
Okay. Well, Julia, it's always good spending some time with you. Thank you for sharing your story. I did not know anything about that whatsoever.
I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me a platform to talk about it.
No problem whatsoever. Look forward to seeing you at an industry event in the near future. For those people watching this, go to lls.org and let's put Team Mark in the top, because I know we're all competitive and we want to make sure Julia has the most. So
you know me all too well, Jesse.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jesse.